Hello, everybody. Welcome back to No Man's Land, where the goal is $10 million or FS25, whichever comes first. I'm getting this field sprayed quickly. Sorry for all of the erratic movement. I'm trying to avoid these trees. We have quite a bit of stuff to do right now. Once I get these weeds sprayed off, we have a field that we need to plant, and we also have a bigger field that we need to harvest. And harvesting that field means we can finally get the canola oil part of our production, our mayonnaise production going. And that will up our mayonnaise production quite a bit. We're already making quite a bit of sunflower oil mayonnaise, and we're making a decent amount of olive oil mayonnaise. But once we get the canola oil going, I think that's gonna up our profits even more. Of course, we also have the donut production going. So I think at some point we are probably going to need another field to grow oats to make flour with. Oh, I hate it when I do that. Left one weed right out in the middle of the field. That is the worst. All right, so that field's taken care of. We got some sorghum coming. So I think maybe the best course of action is to plant this field in oats. Or plant this field in canola and plant that field in oats. I think that's what we're going to do. But for right now, we need to get that canola harvested. This is a large field, but it's also a pretty large harvester. I'm very curious to know how much canola we can get out of this field. It's got a little lumpy spot there I need to smooth out. I feel like the yield is going to be good since we have about 2,500 liters already, and that's what we've done. So I think we did a really good job. We didn't have to worry about weeds in this field because it was a newly plowed field, but we did make sure that it was fully fertilized. And I think that makes a big difference. I don't know percentage-wise how much it increases the yield to fertilize twice. But I know it does increase the yield. This is going to be kind of an odd field for a worker. It is oddly shaped at the other end. But we'll see how it goes. Just a few lumpy spots here and there. And I'm going to try to remember to leave them this time so that after I pick up the straw, I can go back and smooth them out. I don't think we're talking about a lot of canola, so I don't think it's going to hurt us too much to leave them. Right, I don't see any significant trees. I think we can do pretty well with a worker starting now. I hope so. But we'll see if and when I have to take over. We got 32,000 liters of canola, so I'm going to go ahead and dump this in the oil factory, and we'll get started making oil. And then I'm going to let the worker finish up this field, and we can start seeding the other field. So I think what I'm going to do is plant canola here. And then I'm going to think about that other field. I'm not sure whether to plant oats there because they grow quickly, or plant sorghum because it grows quickly and I can also use it for chicken food. That is the question at the moment. Oh, and I should mention that thank you for the comment on Tree Island here. The one comment I had said that I should take out the little trees and leave the big ones. And then 2 people liked that comment. So I have to say that overwhelmingly the viewers supported leaving Tree Island and taking out the small trees. So that is in fact what I have planned to do. So when we get over there and need to seed around it, we'll take those trees out. And it looks like the worker is still going on the canola field over there. That's a good thing. Although it does look like he is now backing down the entire length of the field. If they just fix that problem, the backing down the length of the field for no apparent reason problem, and the driving into the water for no apparent reason problem, if they just fix those 2 things, I'll be happy. I don't have high expectations. Of course, I understand it got confused by the trees. But I'm sure we've all had that one worker who, even though we have harvested the headland and made sure that there's plenty of distance between our field and the river, the worker has still driven a half-full combine of grain into the river. It's happened to everyone. And it has to end. All right, I think I've got him back on track now. I'm letting him go. And then we'll go back to our seeding of canola. And this is why workers are just so vital to the game. I mean, you have to be able to trust them. Now I know somebody's going to post in the comments, well, just use Courseplay. And I could. Courseplay is a wonderful mod. Or so I'm told. Because every time I try to use it, my eyes glaze over and a little drool runs out of the corner of my mouth. And I just don't get it. And Gaming Joy, I don't know if you've watched his videos, but has wonderful, wonderful instruction on how to use Courseplay. And yet, I still don't use it. Maybe someday. Bud is encouraging me to use Courseplay. All right, so I think we have reached the point where it is now time to trim some trees from Tree Island. Just a little bit. But let's look. I think I need to turn on delete objects. Yes. And if I turn on super strength, I see the trees from farther away. And so they're easier to delete. But again, if you're using the delete objects function, make sure that there's nothing behind what you're trying to delete that you want to keep, because you may accidentally slip and delete your tractor or your harvester or your house. Just a few more. Okay, I think these are probably the last two we need to do. I'm going to try that. If we need to delete a couple more, I can, but I think I've left enough space and still left enough trees to be considered Tree Island. There may be one down there I need to get rid of, but we'll try this and see what happens. If I can get around it cleanly without hitting a tree, I'll be very happy. Very nice. Tree Island is no longer a hazard. All right, I'm going to let the worker finish up this field. Or finish up this part of the field anyway. Let's go check on our harvester. Oops. Other direction. Ah, we're full. Well, let's take care of that. It's mostly done. So this will make about 47,000 liters of canola. So that's a good thing. And then the thought also occurred to me that we could just stop growing canola altogether and just make sunflower and olive oil mayonnaise. And then we could use our fields to grow chicken food and flour fodder. So we could grow oats and sorghum in all of our fields and make mayonnaise from olive oil and sunflower oil. That is another consideration. At any rate, I think I'll go ahead and plant this in sorghum because we can use sorghum for both chicken feed and for flour. So if we grow it and at the time we don't need chicken feed, we can use it to make flour. Or we can split it half and half if we want to. Either way, I think we'll be good. I think I'm going to take over at this point and finish this up. It's a little oddly shaped, and I'm not sure what the worker's going to want to do with this. Not too much left at all. Need to check on the chickens at some point today. Not sure if they have food or not. I think they probably do. Pretty sure those over there do because we filled that up. I don't think any of these spots were left because the ground is uneven. I think that was just the worker turning around and leaving some patches. I think on the other side of the field over there, not that strip, but those strips down there, I think those were all caused by uneven ground. So after we pick up the straw, we'll smooth those out. I may even just leave the harvester out here so I can go ahead and grab those little bits of canola. There's probably not more than 50 liters, but waste not, want not. I believe the saying goes. All right, so we're going to do that for now. We're going to leave those two patches down there because they got skipped because of uneven ground. And we got another 2,779 liters of canola. So that's a good thing. Get this out of the way. I'll go ahead and dump this, I guess. I believe our worker may be done with that portion of the field. So we'll get this tipped and we'll go check on him. Wow, he's still going. Wow, that worker came back for this side of the field. Well, that's very odd. Because there was a big space between this and what I left the worker on. That doesn't usually happen. They usually just stop and pretend like that other part of the field doesn't exist. So I'm really glad we're getting this comparison of FS22 workers, and then we'll be able to compare it very closely to the new workers in FS25 and try some of the same things that the workers have failed on in 22. I have a feeling I may lose a few tractors to the river, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm trying not to be too skeptical. But by and large, so far, I have not been impressed with the implementation of really any form of AI. I mean, they do really well with things like images and things that are easily searched on the internet and kind of forming them into coherent thoughts. They do that sort of stuff well, but actually making decisions based on stuff, based on facts or information, I haven't been that impressed. All right. Man, this planner just makes short work of any field. Now, if you're playing 4 fields or some other maps with incredibly large fields, you might need 2 of these. But 2 of these, the 4 fields fields get planted very quickly. I mean, for the size of the field. But the speed and working width of that planner is just unmatched in the game. Awesome. And that's why we love mods and modders. My hope is that FS22 mods will be easily ported to FS25. We'll see. Mods came fairly quickly for 22, I believe, if I remember correctly. There was a time where I was playing 22 because it was the new game, but I was still playing 19 more because of the mods. But as mods began to come out, I gradually put away 19. It's very exciting. I'm looking forward to the new game, no matter what it might be. But I have to chuckle at a lot of the commenters that I read when you watch the video that Giants has released of 25. And it makes me laugh when people start commenting about features that aren't going to be implemented. Like, well, how do you know? The game hasn't been released yet, and Giants hasn't released all of the information about the game yet. So I don't understand how people can be so disappointed about a game that they know so little about. So I don't know. Maybe somebody can explain that to me. Yeah, while you're at it, explain Michael Jackson to me. That might actually be easier. So, we're gonna go ahead and smooth this out, and then hopefully, yeah, that's made it a little flatter already. That at one edge was really high. So, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, this has smoothed it all down. Oops, I just lost some straw. Ah, well, we have a lot of straw. So I'm going to finish picking this up. And then I'm going to get the harvester and come down here and see if my smoothing has worked. Oops. Don't have the pickup lowered. Now I do. And then we'll look at the chickens and see if they have enough food. And we will sell some things. Good morning. It is November. We made some money overnight. But we are definitely in the midst of fall right now. You can tell by the sun at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's still not quite risen. So we're going to fast forward just a little bit. There we go. Now we have some proper sunshine. I decided to sleep last night because we didn't have any eggs at all. We have plenty of donuts now, but we have materials missing, and those materials are going to be eggs. So even with priority distribution, I think it's just going to take a little longer for it all to even out. So we're just going to have to go, I think, without mayonnaise for a little while. We have 80,000 liters of methane, which we'll sell today, and we have donuts to sell. So we'll go ahead and make some money today. And first thing I want to do, though, is I want to sell these chickens. I'm pretty sure we're out of food here. Yeah, we're out of food. So we're going to sell all these chickens. Oops. All right. And now we've sold all of our chickens out of this pen. And we'll only have chickens in the other pen. So we have no more chickens here. We have no more eggs here. So we're going to go ahead and sell this. All right, and now we have opened up a little bit of space right here if we need to put another production or something back there. But first, we need to sell methane and donuts. So I need to do some research and see if there's a way to, I'm pretty sure there's like methane storage where I can distribute the methane into a storage tank and then pick it up from there and take it for sale. Because right now what it's doing is it's filling up with 80,000 liters and then stopping. When in reality it could continue and make us even more money. So we're going to figure this egg thing out. What I might do is just spend a little money and buy enough eggs to fill up the first production. And that would balance things out, I think. Then it would start sending eggs to the second production and then just keep the first production topped off. Well, that's unfortunate. All right, well, that's helpful. All right. I don't think I have any hope of writing this in any of the conventional, realistic sort of ways. So, oh, yikes. Now I've got this issue. Great. I don't think... Am I stuck inside the truck? I think I'm stuck inside the truck. So if I were to grab a hold of the truck at this point, it would probably launch itself across the universe. So, I think the only other solution is... Wait, I can do this. I can travel to here. Now I'm outside of the truck. So pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. And we're done. And we're still laggy. Well, we're just going to live with it. Because we don't have a whole lot of choice. If we want to use Universal Autoload. And whatever mod that it is conflicting with at the same time. I'm going to try turning off... I can't remember what the other auto load is called. There's another auto load mod which I also have installed, and I'm wondering if maybe they're conflicting with each other. So I may go ahead and uninstall the other auto load so that I can use Universal Auto Load, which I prefer. All right, so we made 107,000 on methane. And I wasn't paying attention to how much we made on donuts. But it's clear that profits are down because the egg production is a little screwy right now. So we're going to have to straighten out the egg production. If that means that we deliver eggs to the productions every day, then so be it. But hopefully we can figure out the distribution and make that work in our favor. And we will continue to make methane, and we will continue to sell flowers and mushrooms. So I think we're well on our way to $10 million. We've just hit a slight snag at the moment. We will get back on track. But I think that's going to do it for this episode. If you like this video, I sure would appreciate a thumbs up or a subscription. If you did not like this video, please post a comment and tell me why. Either way, thanks so much for being here. I'll see you next time.